Manchester United beaten by Atletico Madrid in pre-season. United were poor. United were really poor through large parts of the game. There was a few moments from Malacia early on, some good passing from Christian Eriksen when he came on, but a real acid test today for Man United, and not in terms of the result. I'm not going to uh, change my tune on the importance of preseason results because we lose. I didn't get overly excited because we won. I'm not going to panic because we've lost. But the performance is what I've been focusing on the whole entire summer, and it was an absolute woeful performance from Man United today, from start to finish. A poor performance indeed, and it goes to show me, and I think it will show a lot of Man United fans, that so much work is still needed to be done by Eric Ten Hag. I know a lot of Arsenal fans are tuning in. We've got Arsenal content coming out later on today, so keep your eyes out for that. Both games are on at the same time. I wasn't able to watch both, so I couldn't cover both. But yeah, I've got some really important Arsenal content out later on today, so keep your eyes out for that. But Man United were poor today. Man United were lethargic. Man United, and I'll say lethargic. I don't care if people want to call it out. There was times where I know they're playing in the heat. I know it was difficult. But Atletico Madrid, they weren't at their brilliant best from an offensive point of view. They rarely created chances, but they worked tirelessly, and they're behind Man United in terms of their pre-season preparation. We should have been fitter. We should have been stronger. We should have been quicker. And Manchester United were not. There is a lot of work on here for Eric Ten Hag. There is a big job on for this guy, without a shadow of a doubt. He's got so much work to do. There is so much integration that's needed. And look, we saw Eriksen come on. You saw a few moments. The best ball of the game played by him inside a few seconds. And I'm seeing a lot of people say that journalists, pundits, he's not going to get in this first team over Bruno. If Bruno Fernandes performs like that too many times, Eric Ten Hag will drop him without a shadow of a doubt. Bruno Fernandes was a performance today was atrocious. Marcus Rashford's good and sharp in the early moments, but faded. Attempted 2 shots that he should never have attempted. We were drawing at the time. There's no need to shoot, cross, or play the ball. Anthony Martial, far too static today, missed a glorious chance and opportunity. Alanga. I'm going to say this now about Langa. I've been saying it a long time. He is not Premier League quality. He is definitely not top 6 Premier League starting quality, without a shadow of a doubt. And we saw the weaknesses today in the low. Pretty good going forward at times, but I know João Felix is very good. And of course, he had the quality that Man United lacked. But he got turned inside out like an apple turnover and the ball buried into the bottom corner. A top quality defender doesn't allow that to happen. It was too easy for João Felix in the end. But overall, the performance from Man United, the lack of strength in midfield. Fred had a good game, but of course, and I've got to call him out on this. Scott McTominay, first of all, terrible performance again. Donny van de Beek coming on, by the way, even worse. Even worse. But let me just say this. Let me just say this now. Let me just say this now to you. Scott McTominay, take your collar down. I just want to say that now. Scott McTominay, what is your collar doing up? I cannot understand for the life of me why your collar's up. It makes no sense. Why in God's name is your collar up? Legitimately, why is your collar up? Embarrassing. That's Eric Cantona's. No other footballer in the world can do it, let alone you. Put your goddamn collar down. You don't have the minerals, the ability, the prowess, the history, the CV to be putting your collar up in a Man United shirt, bruv. Put that thing down. But I'm annoyed today, and I'm annoyed today with the overall performance. But then it's that reality check that Man United fans need. I've been saying it all summer. A lot of work is on here. That's why not having every single position covered isn't a panic for me, because I knew that was never going to happen in one summer. And I knew that we weren't going to be the finished article by the time we kicked our first ball this season. Man United fans have got to temper themselves. We're going to have a number of games like we saw today this season, where we may be the more dominant team in possession. We may be the better team overall in terms of play, but we lose. This is going to happen, and this is going to happen on a number of occasions this season. Man United fans have got to get themselves ready for that realization. Any Man United fan thinking this is going to be a breeze or a walk in the park or a brilliant season, you're deluding yourselves at this point. Terry, you are blowing things out of proportion. This team played well. They just weren't clinical. Plus, McTominay hid all game. Well, that's not blowing it. I'm not blowing it out of proportion. You know, they played well in phases, but football is about scoring goals and not conceding. All the other things in between it can look great, sound good, but United need more than that. Now, I'm not saying we won't get better. I'm not saying all is lost. I'm simply stating to Man United fans, slow yourselves down. When we perform well and when we look good, get happy. But even if we win our first 2 or 3 games of the season, people need to calm down. People will start talking titles. People will start talking, we're back. United are a long way away. We are at the beginning of a 2 to 3 year rebuild to be ready to compete with the best teams in Europe. We are at stage 1. The expectation should be at stage 1. What you'll get, though, from the fungus fans and mushrooms is, no, we should be challenging for titles. Yeah, we should. But how long from being the worst team in our Premier League history is it going to take us to get to that point? That's the question that a lot of people don't want to answer. I'm not ranting. I'm not raving. I'm not screaming. Just giving you my honest assessment of how the team played, how the team performed, and its performances all summer that I've been looking at. And today, too many individuals were poor. Bruno, Scott McTominay, Alanga, Delo, Martial, Rashford. And as a collective team, because of all their individual poor performances, we weren't good enough. The only thing you would say today is, I know we conceded in the end, defensively, majority of the game, we look quite solid. Our defenders look quite good. Eriksen looked good when he came on. Malacia showed there's some quality in there, and there's a potential future for him. But a lot more to come from this Manchester United team, you would assume. Now, I want to say a big shout out before we go any further to our title sponsors today, Private Internet Access. You can get their full range of VPN services for £1.63 per month using our discount. And what this enables you to do is protect all your data, have unlimited content worldwide with 0 restrictions across all your devices, and protect all of your personal data. Click on the link in the live comment section or description below at the end of the stream to sign up now. I want to say thank you to everybody that's done it so far. 472 to be precise, have signed up to that brilliant service and are enjoying it. So thank you very, very much indeed. Let's go to some more of your comments here. I want to know what you're all thinking and feeling in relation to this. Terry, stop the crap because the system is working, but the players you praise like McTominay, Bruno, Alanga, Maguire, and Rashford don't belong in the starting 11, but you just biased. What are you talking about, you moron? That's the worst attempt at trying to troll me I've ever seen. I've just blamed the majority of those players for the way we played today. I said their individual performances let down what the team was trying to do. So you agree with me. So what do you mean, Terry, stop, when you literally have typed out the same thing that I said? Do you know what? That kind of comment is what I call penis reduction. Because every time you make a comment like that, your girlfriend will look at you or your partner will look at you and it will make them believe that your penis has just got smaller. So you're really doing yourself no favors there, my friend. Penis reduction comment. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Indeed. It's literally, again, a lot of guys are saying Terry wasn't even praising McTominay. I literally didn't really praise anybody, but there we go. Terry triggered. Can't blame Ten Hag because he was left without that excuse. Oh, you can't blame Ten Hag this early. The new manager doesn't get the blame from now because he is picking up the pieces of 10 years of failure and he's trying to rebuild from it, and it's going to take him time. All I'm asking for is that we see how the team are trying to play, and we did see that. We just lack that clinical edge. Yeah, someone's already said it. We're absolutely right. We worked the ball to in and around their box very, very well. We just weren't able to do anything with it from that point. So that's where we were poor. And it was the decision making that was more crucial to me today than anything else. Rashford gets inside early on, goes for that shot. If you take that shot, you've got to bury it. There was an easier ball, dink it over the top, 2 players in the middle, head. There was another time, a great bit of touch from Rashford. Nice little bit of play with Bruno. He cuts inside their space and he goes for a speculative shot, which if he scores, brilliant. It looks sensational. It's amazing. It's brilliant. It's out of this world. But it's a shot that 99 times out of 100 doesn't go in. So keep possession and play the ball. Or it's the type of shot you take when your team is already 2 or 3-0 up. That's what you do. That's what you do in that circumstance every single time. Terry is really passive angry today. Again, that's another penis reducting comment. You just make your boyfriend's now looking at you going, bro, you stop doing it. You're ruining my enjoyment there, my friend. Terrible banter, my friend. Awful. Comment with something good. Abdul here, one of our members, says, Terry, I'm sorry, there's no way you can find buying a backup left back, Ericsson and Martial, by the start of the season acceptable. Where is the ambition? Acceptable by what standard? You're not making any sense. What do you mean by acceptable? Explain your interpretation of acceptable. Acceptable to achieve what? And have I said it's acceptable? You know, what are we talking about? You need to give me the context of your comment. So explain that to me, then I'll answer it, because that's a loaded point you're making there. Because I need to understand the variables to your question, and then I'll answer it, my friend. Bruno trying to be Aaron Rodgers. He just today, Bruno went. Listen, Bruno tried to do the right things. He just didn't execute it today. Poor, but he tried to do the right things. You know, my issue with one player on the pitch who winds me up the most is Alanga, because Alanga is out of his depth. And because he's out of his depth and he knows he's out of his depth, he doesn't try anything. Doesn't try and beat a man. Doesn't cross the ball early enough. Like he doesn't even try it, knocking it and running on. Like he literally tries nothing. I don't really understand it. I don't really understand it. It's very, very strange indeed. The way in which he does things. It's a strange one to me. Um, Don't worry, Terry, Ronaldo will play tomorrow. Yeah, that will cheer me up. 8 seasons now, maybe Martial is the main man. Listen, what we saw today was the very worst of Anthony Martial. Very static, he was getting, again, Bruno doesn't like the fight. Sorry, Martial doesn't like the fight or for his position or on the pitch. So if a team bullies him a little bit, if a team, are kicking him, standing on his heels, tripping him up, fighting, pulling, that's when he's going to struggle. And we saw that today without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. Malacia today, yeah, look, Malacia looked good today. Malacia looked good, but he's young and he needs that little bit of time before we start talking about him being some sort of savior, because he's not yet. He's very young and needs time to fit in. I didn't think United played badly today. Finishing was lacking. Lack of squad depth is massively visible. Malacia was feisty. I'm impressed. Look, the club need a couple more signings this summer, and next summer we're going to need another 4 or 5 again. 4 or 5 a summer is enough for me, because I personally, I think you don't want to be adding 5 or 6 is cool. I think when you start going 7s and beyond, I've said it before, I think it's too much of a turnover of players in one summer. United need to bring in De Jong or an alternative. They also need to bring in some more attackers. You suddenly throw Anthony and De Jong and Xisco into this team, plus with the Ericssons and the Martinez is ready to go. It will feel different. Would I have liked Man United's business to have been done sooner? Yes. Do I understand why it's taken Man United longer after 9 to 10 years of failure? Yes. Of course I get why it's taken longer to get these players in. That's what I mean by people saying, do you not find these things acceptable? The answer would probably be no. But who are you asking for me to blame here? You can't just say the club, because there's 2 different things at play at Man United, and we all know there is. Let's have a look at some more of these comments coming through. I've had some guy put the same comment in 5 times. Casey, thank you very much for signing up and becoming a member with us today. Really appreciate that, brother. Let's make sure that like button is being smashed as well, people. Very, very important to the terrace that you get that done. Let's give it a big, big smash. Someone comments, you go personal, who's toxic? It's called banter, mate. I'm just telling people, though, when you have bad banter, when you say things that are lies, like, it's pathetic. You know what I mean? And it is personal when you say things about me that I haven't said, because you're saying I've done something I haven't. That's a personal thing. You're calling me a liar. So there we go. But Sean, it's also just a little bit of banter, mate. Like, you see what these people write about me every day. If they can't take it back, I'll be honest with you. YouTube wasn't invented for certain viewers to be able to abuse the content creator or banter them without taking it back. Chill, brother. It's just a little bit of fun. Do you know what I mean? Their partner doesn't really think their penis is shrinking. It's a joke. It's like, would you call comedians toxic? If a comedian tells a joke back at a heckler, do you think the comedian's toxic, or is he just having fun? Come on, bro. What is this toxic nonsense, my guy? Is it because you've got a small penis? Is that what it is? You're feeling triggered because you got the micro penis thing going on? Is that what it is? Shawnee, my mate, I'm very sorry that's triggered you. We'll all help. You know what we'll do to make it better? We'll buy your other half a magnifying glass and it'll look bigger then, won't it? Do you think Ronaldo will work for Man United under Ten Hag and the system when he returns? I don't know, to be honest with you. That's my honest opinion. I do not know because he's not kicked a ball. He hasn't played a game. He hasn't trained at all. So yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried about how he's going to fit in and how it's going to work. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I am concerned. I am worried about it. I really, really am. Um, a comment here said this is at least a 3-year project. People are overreacting. Rubbish again, the same as last season. Now Ten Hag has seen it for himself, is what Mark's got to say. Reports about City getting Paqueta. Yeah, we're going to touch on that on Straight Facts tomorrow, my guy. We'll be touching on that tomorrow. Keep them comments coming in. I want to keep reading them out. Terry, I made my statement because from the start you said that the team didn't play well in others to cover up your crap British and favorite play. So why have you got to mention their nationality, my friend? There's no need for xenophobia on the football terrace, brother. You do that again and you'll be banned for life. There's no need for xenophobia. That's not funny. We move forward. Do you think Manchester United and Arsenal will struggle this season due to squad depth and the amount of games being played? I'll be touching on Arsenal a little bit later. I've got content dropping about Arsenal Football Club later today, so keep your eyes out for that, my friend. Man United, yeah, of course. Of course, the squad depth could be damaging for Manchester United. I don't even think that's debatable. I think it's an absolute fair point that could come true. 110%. No community shield talk. Well, we've got the Football Terrace party later on today. And I can't help when the date is. We couldn't do the party last weekend. It's happening today, so we're going to be there. So we'll do a little stream or something afterwards, but that's where we're going to be. Exactly the same as last year. Come on, bro. It's just banter. If you guys can't take it, I don't know what to say to you. And Sean's a good guy. Sean's a long-term viewer of the Football Terrace. I know he's sitting at home laughing. There we go. Terry, will we have a City vote? No, we won't, as I just said, because I'm going to be at the Football Terrace party tonight, celebrating people. Micro penis lives matter. We've got a comment here from Josh, one of our member chats here. He says, I love that Eriksen is here to put pressure on Bruno Madoni. This game shows that we still need more signings. We are thin in attack and midfield quality. Erik ten Hag to give the hair-dry treatment. Well, this is what's really key. And I don't want it to take as long as this. But look how long it's taken for Arsenal to look dangerous. Look how long it's taken for Arsenal to look like they might now be the finished article, ready to challenge, ready to be powerful, ready to be big in the market. Like, that's legit, right? Look how long it's taken them. And Man United might get there a little bit quicker. However, it didn't happen straight away. Look how long it took Liverpool to be like truly and genuinely dangerous. Dangerous and consistent. So they could score lots of goals, but they would often concede a lot. And I think for me, that's the bit that's really, really important to remember is really, really important to remember is the fact that it's going to take time. And I think some Man United fans are hoping and praying because they love the negativity. They love to jump on the bandwagons. They want to be the manager out. Stuff will come back really quick, by the way. They want it to, they know it's going to take time, but what they'll do before giving it time is shit on it because that's the only commodity they've got. That's why I call them mushrooms. Daddy Glazer Simp says, Terry, you can do another tactics video with Ten Hag's hexagon triangles. Well, of course, but the thing is, though, you can see someone's formation and pattern and how it can work, but then it's the manager's and player's job to make that consistent. And if you do it once, twice, 3 times a lady, it's doable. The hardest part of football isn't making a system work once or twice. It's about making it consistent. And the greatest teams, the greatest players, the greatest managers take what we can all identify and do it on a regular basis. The difference between a Premier League footballer and a League One football player is the consistency, because a League One footballer has the ability on occasions to perform at a Premier League level. How do we know this? We've all watched the FA Cup where a lower level team outplays and beats a Premier League team, and there's an individual player or two on that day that's sensational. But the reason they're at League One is because they seldom get to that level. So of course, yeah, it's a dig, but your dig again is falling on deaf ears because it doesn't make sense. Terry, oh yeah, there it is. There, it's a good attempt, my bro. It's a good attempt, but no cigar for you. The old habits in the final third was the issue today. Defensively, I thought we were good, and Maguire in pre-season has looked good. Maguire has looked good in pre-season. You're right, and I would say you're spot on. And I've seen that in the last couple of games when the pressure's on Man United or things haven't quite gone right, or some chances have been. We've seen like really good play and then chances missed. And then the team's head drops, the confidence falls away. And these are the mental attributes that Ten Hag has to instill into his team. And preseason was never going to be enough to get it done. They have to, if suddenly the ideas and the and the way of playing delivers results, game one, game two, game three, you'll start to see confidence arise. And that's what these players need. They need belief in themselves. I'm still seeing the Ollie habits and the Ralph Ragnick habits of these players, almost like, oh, we don't believe in ourselves. This isn't going to work. And that's why it's going to take time. There's less pressure on Man United this year than the other members of the top six because we're starting again from the absolute beginning. We're wiping the slate clean and going again. But that requires more patience from fans because we can't be as consistent as Arsenal, as consistent as Chelsea, Spurs, Liverpool, City. It's impossible because we're doing what the Man United fans ask for and was rebuilding again from the beginning. However, that doesn't mean you can't criticize the performance. It doesn't mean it excuses it. You can still call it out, but the solution isn't just sell this one player and buy this one guy, sack the manager and bring this dude in. It's about giving it time to be created. And we were never getting rid of all the players that aren't good enough in one summer and buying all the players that are. It was going to take a summer or two to get anywhere near Ten Hag's squad. And that is what I think a lot of Man United fans are struggling to comprehend or accept. Losing a match is okay. We only lost to a brilliant individual goal. We had chances and we are looking better. And that will be the positives, by the way, that Ten Hag will take. Ten Hag will take those elements and he will turn around to his team and they'll do that. They'll go through the game with the DVD. They'll look at the good and the bad, the different. They'll work on the players. Look, bad decision here, good decision there. People say you can't teach good decision making. I don't think that's true. It's about the management. It's about taking these individuals aside, show them the footage. Why only 3 times out of 10 do you pass down to the overlapping runner, Rashford? Why are you cutting inside more? You can train and coach a player to start passing it out. How do I know this? Works in fighting. I'm someone that, trained at a good level when it comes to kickboxing and Thai boxing and traditional karate. And there were mistakes that fighters would make. Now, could you turn a fighter from being good to being world class? That was difficult unless the talent was there. But you could stop people from making mistakes. There are ways in training. You ask boxers. Boxers can be trained to fight differently. Boxers can be trained to do new things. You see this all the time with adaptations to where they fight. So if boxers can be trained to stop making certain mistakes, to change where they put their hand, to stand in a different type of position when they're throwing a punch so they're not susceptible to a counter, then football players can be taught to do the same thing. And that's what Ten Hag and these guys have got to work on. Some of the final decisions in the final third, and it's sometimes playing the right pass, and there is still a hesitation. There's such a hesitation in Man United at times, and that for me is due to confidence. How's Donny been playing till? Lots of people have red faces if he can't perform. Listen, I tweeted the other day, I want Donny to start in the Prem, and I stand by that. I do want Donny to start in the Prem. I do want Donny to be part of this team. But every time I've seen him so far in preseason, I'm going to be blunt, he has looked absolutely bang average. He has looked absolutely, categorically bang average. I can't get away from how average he has looked. Really, really average indeed. No real star quality, no real, just nothing really good about anything he's done. He hasn't even looked interested. He's been look, Scott McTominay has been poor on the ball. Scott McTominay has been bang average, poor for the majority of this summer. But Donny van der Beek, who is a superior technician, has been invisible as well. So yeah, it hasn't been a good preseason for him so far. And when you think he's got the manager that kind of developed him, got him to the forefront, made him a bit of a household name, as it were, to not be able to perform for him is terrible. And I always remember watching this film, a prison film, and there was a character in it that was quite slight and weak. And other prisoners walking up to him and were going, calling him a featherweight because he was so light. That's Donny. Donny is a featherweight. Donny is a featherweight. In fact, he's a phantom weight in the Premier League. Even at elite level league sport, he just doesn't want to get stuck in. The technical ability is there, but you have to have a physical element to your game. KDB is looked at as one of the best technicians, one of the best creators, one of the best ballers in football. But watch him battle. Watch him go shoulder to shoulder with another player and battle and fight and everything else. And I think for me, that's the element that's really, really key. Really, really key indeed. Harry Maguire should work on his heading from corners. Eriksen put that corner on a plate. Yeah, he did. I mean, good positioning, but yeah, does need to absolutely does need to do better from that position without a shadow of a doubt. Why is this guy going in on Donny but not on Martial for 8 years? Because I was asked specifically about Donny van der Beek. I spoke already earlier on in the show about Anthony Martial and how today was the worst of him, how he was static, how when he plays when a team fights, when a team's hard on him, when they bully him a little bit, how he shies away. So maybe you've tuned in late and didn't see it. But if you tune into a show after 20 minutes and you don't hear that point, ask what I think of Anthony Martial's performance as opposed to attacking me for not doing it. I'm very sorry to say to my friend, but that already been done. Already been done. Already called him out. Donny couldn't even make it into the Everton shirt. I doubt he will succeed at Manchester United. Well, the people that will have egg on their faces are the people that claim that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for all his faults, was bullying him and didn't know ball and all this nonsense. I'm telling you, eye test merchants are dead and buried anyway. And they have been for a long time, and that'll be another one that kills them. People that want to ignore the other elements of the game, very strange people to me. I'd rather we lost in preseason than having heightened expectations for next season. It's become unhealthy in some aspects of our club. David, that's a really good point as well. And there is an element of being level-headed. There is an element of keeping your feet on the ground. There is an element of saying this is okay. This is okay. We're going to be fine, and burying your head in the sands. But there are people, remember the fungus fans especially, what they do is what they're going to do is they're going to do the Lee Gunner trick. They're going to say, well, we should be challenging for titles, and I'm going to moan and scream and cry until we're back there. What they're not going to do is temper themselves and say, well, we know it, we're not going to be there this season. So I want to see this. I'm going to celebrate the step changes of getting to that point. They'll ignore all the step changes. They're just like, I want the end result only. And that's what they're going to do. And that's the world they're going to live in. But you're absolutely right, David. There needs to be an element of people not lowering their expectations, but just being sensible. What can we actually do? What can we actually achieve? I think that's going to be very, very key indeed for Manchester United moving forward. Thank you, Big G. Really appreciate that, brother. Terry, I don't see Alanga as a good enough player. Joe, you're spot on. He's not. Alanga isn't good enough to help take Man United back to the promised land. He's not. There isn't enough technique. Like, there was that video of him in preseason looking really, really good and sharp. When it comes to actually playing against other top quality players, he just doesn't have it in him. It's like he doesn't have the belief. He doesn't have the feeling that he can do it. He just isn't good enough. Point blank, not of the level required. Grimy here says, no matter how good a player is, sometimes they don't always fit well in the Prem or take longer to adapt. Listen, and that's very true. That's very true. But this is Donny's third year in England. If he ain't ready now, and especially under Ten Hag, if he doesn't like prove himself this season and become a player, he's never going to do it here. Never going to do it. Hi, Terry. A proud moment from South Africa. Benny McCarthy in the 18th area. Shout out to Benny McCarthy, Ten Hag appointment. Yeah, listen, Benny McCarthy was a player, man. Benny McCarthy was a proper player. I'm intrigued. I don't know what he's been up to since he retired, but he's coming in. An interesting character to have around the dressing room. You know, he's played in the Prem, international footballer. I believe I think he must have played Champions League football before he went to Blackburn as well. I swear he played Champions League. I swear he's played at all levels of the game. I swear he has. Wow, is he 44 now? Oh my God. Crazy. He must have played. He must have played in the Champions League with Porto and probably with Ajax as well, to be fair. Like, he's been around. Like, he's done bits. I was going to check that. He must have played in the Champions League with those two teams. I don't know for sure. He's played in Europe, so I'm going to assume he's played some games. Celta Vigo is maybe as well, but he's definitely played in the Champions League. There's some good experience in there. There's a good player in there, and there's a I'm excited to see what he can go out there and do. Let's have a look at some more of these comments here. What do you think of United's preseason results? The results I'm not really worried about. I didn't start going, we're going to win the league when we smash Liverpool. I'm not going to start saying it's all doom and gloom and Ten Hag's are going to be sacked in 3 months for losing today. I've been impressed with a handful of the performances, but every game I've seen holes. The last 1.5 games, I've been really underwhelmed by the overall performance. And for me, I'm not someone who looks at how we played and moved the ball and the finishing and overly separate them. I look at them as a collective because in reality, that's where you're at. And there were some good elements to today, but the overall performance wasn't quite right. We looked very Ollie today, and that's going to be the way I explain it. We looked very Ollie. We looked very erratic. We lacked confidence, and that's something that Manchester United really need to sort of focus on and get better and improve on, in my opinion, in the coming days, weeks, and months. We really need to do better in those areas. We really, really do. Sorry, people. I'm just checking something while I'm talking to you all. Let's have a little look here at some more of these comments. Make sure you're smashing that like button for us, people. Really important that we get that done. I said this about Donny. There are 3 separate coaches that have the same opinion about you. What does that say? Listen, that's it. If 3 managers running, including the ex-Ajax manager, don't start picking him and playing him, then Man United fans have got to wake up and smell the coffee and just say, oh, you know what? I was wrong about Donny, and we move on. That's it. Benny won the champion. Oh, he won the Champions League. He was actually at Porto when they won the Champions League. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he must have been. There we go. I actually forgot about that. Thank you. I saw that he was at Porto, but yeah, he would have done if he won it if they were there in 2004. That's what I mean. He's played at every level. I don't know what he's been doing coaching wise since he retired. I'm trying to look here. He's managed. I don't know how to pronounce that. Like, he hasn't been at a very high level of coaching and managing, but that doesn't mean he isn't going to be a good. It doesn't mean he isn't going to be good. So yeah, intrigued to see what he brings. Not going to judge it overtly and just see what happens. Simple as that. Was Mourinho's lead striker? Was he the lead striker? I just forget that. That's just eluded my knowledge. But thank you very much for letting me know, my people. I really do appreciate that. Terry, you need to learn football because all the statements you are making about Martial's performance in the game belong to Rashford, McTominay, and Elanga. This shows your biased attitude. Are you saying my biased attitude towards British people again? You do realize that Elanga isn't British, don't you? Oh, bro. No, Anthony Martial wasn't very good either today. I have the irony in it is you're the one who's called people out because of their passport. You've got a bias. You're xenophobic. You're a bigot, not me. Don't come here with your bigoted views and try and run them on me. I criticize players irrespective of their nationality, their skin color, race, or religion. Don't care. Doesn't bother me. You clearly have a problem with people from certain parts of the world. I feel sorry for you. And what I am going to do, my friend, is block you from the football terrace because we don't tolerate any type of bigotry here at all. So you can take care, my friend. You're now blocked from the channel. Simple as that. Imagine we have Saliba and Gabriel and you have Maguire and a midget. What a circus United is. Well, Arsenal fans should be over the moon at the minute. Arsenal fans should be very, very excited with what they're doing, with what they're creating and the kind of direction that their football club is going in, because it's really good and it's serious. It really, really is. People, but look, I really appreciate you all tuning in and having your say. We have a super chat here that says, he did well with a low budget young team in Cape Town called Cape Town City, very passionate and vocal. Fair play. Like, I'll do a bit of research and read up. I don't know what he's been up to myself. People, we've got more content coming out later on today for you. I'm off to the football terrace, 250,000 party. Thank you all very much for helping us get there. Until next time, my friends, take care. Goodbye. God bless.